Hello, I'm Francesca Pritchard and this is your weekly Winol Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Kieran, Tibbert and Emily Byway. Today we'll be discussing a new gym, local music and World Book Day. So, any thoughts on this new gym? Emily, I think you have more.
Yeah, so PUREGYM opened on Friday. They now have over 430 locations available nationwide, which is crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Are they a new gym? Is that how they've come about with that many so quick?
No, so it's Britain's largest chain. I don't know when they were originally founded, but they've definitely been around for a while. Where they have so many, they now have offerings of different memberships. So there's a core membership, which is you pick your gym and that is your gym and you cannot go anywhere else. Or they have a plus membership, and with the plus membership you have access to over 300 more gyms. So you pick a home gym. So my home gym would be Winchester. Yeah. And then I could pick other gyms that I would want to go to, and you can include them in your membership.
How much does it cost? Because I know there's quite a few gyms in Winchester usually are quite expensive.
Yeah, so the average gym in Winchester is about £40 a month. And I think that's is based on location, number one, but it is based on their offerings. Winchester Sport and Leisure Park, they have state-of-the-art equipment, and they can do swimming and classes in their memberships. PUREGYM, you can do a class, and so they have lots of offers on at the moment, obviously because they're a brand new gym. They're trying to entice more people.
But those will go up, won't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So their offer at the moment is a core membership. You pay £15.99 for your first 6 months and a £15 joining fee. Then it will go up to £26.99, and that's just to use the Winchester gym. But the gym is 24 hours a day, so you can go at any time.
That's good. It's always
would you
useful.
be, Percy, would you be intrigued to go late at night? Would you think that's quite an offering to people? Do you think a lot of people will take that up?
Not for me personally, but I think it's different on everybody's lifestyle.
Yeah, sort of depends on what you do every day and what your work schedule is.
Because I also think people who work nights, you might finish at 6 a.m. Most gyms don't open till 7, 8. So even just that extra 2 hours in the morning is helpful. I don't think I would go late at night. If I was going to go and use the 24 hours, I'd probably do it early morning.
Here's a question for both of you. Do you think Winchester has too many gyms?
See, I'm going to say no, but not in the traditional sense. There's a lot of gyms, but they all, the ones in town are very much similar. They're small, not got that much equipment in them. Whereas PUREGYM's, obviously, where it's out of town, there's parking outside the gym, which is what some gyms in town don't offer.
Yeah.
And the one at the leisure park, which we've already said about, has swimming and has all that state-of-the-art equipment. But with that, the price is more.
Yes.
So I do think it has filled something in the market that was missing in Winchester.
There's definitely positives and negatives about each of them. I think they're quite spread out, which is quite good as well.
Yeah. If you went with the plus membership at PUREGYM, you can get 4 guest passes for a month, which I think is fun and something nice to bring that the other gyms don't. But I wouldn't say that Winchester has too many gyms. I think, like Francesca, they are all the same. They're all quite small. They all kind of cost the same, and
they all offer the same sort of thing. Yeah. But
with that, there are also other gyms. I found Elevate Fitness in town. They're really good. They offer different kind of strength and conditioning workouts, and there's lots of Pilates studios and yoga studios, and they would still come under the gym category, but they're offering so much else that other people aren't. But with the new PUREGYM, I don't know if, because of the uni students in Winchester, if that's going to become more popular, because you can go here and you can go to PUREGYM at home and you're just paying one cost. You're not having to cancel memberships.
Exactly.
Because I think also with the other gyms in town, you will cancel your membership and still have to go for a month, or still have to pay for that last month. So, for example, people leaving for summer in May, if they're not cancelling until May, they're still paying for their June membership.
Yeah.
Whereas in PUREGYM, you can use that nationwide.
I also think that's quite beneficial for people who commute for work.
Yeah.
If you're, for example, someone who's based in Winchester but has to commute up north or into London, and you're having to stay the night in those locations, having a PUREGYM near you, which now there's so many increasing, like you said before, that's going to be a massive benefit to people who are commuting for work can also still access their fitness routine.
I also think from the location of this specific PUREGYM, that will be the same, because it's just off of the M3. Anyone travelling past Winchester can stop and go to the gym. in case they're, you know, like stopping to go on a long journey and you're just going to stop at the gym, things like that. But yeah, I think it offers something different to everyone, and
Definitely.
it's a nice new thing.
Yeah, and I feel like with new gyms and everything, everyone's got a little podcast that they listen to or a playlist. So we heard about new music in Portsmouth, wasn't it, Kieran?
Yes, so I had the privilege of speaking to a 22-year-old musician from Portsmouth. His name is Harvey J. Dodgson. If you haven't heard of him before, he's got a widespread following on social media. Sort of music in the indie hip-hop soul sort of genre. He won the Road to Victorious Festival competition last year, and therefore he played at festival stages across the country, including Truckfest, Tramlines, a few others, and then obviously the Castle stage at Victorious Festival. That was the main achievement that he got. He played a few shows over the weekend supporting the band M60 in Bristol and Southampton, and his next 2 shows are supporting his fellow Portsmouth fellow Portsmouth band Crystal Tides in Brighton and Portsmouth respectively. And yeah, so
what's like his genre of music? What kind
well,
of thing
it's sort
would
of
you be listening to?
he sort of like mixes like hip hop soul with a bit of indie rock. I mean, he's got musical influences like Kasabian and Jamie T and Idols and stuff, so kind of it's quite a mixed bag. And yeah, I had the privilege of speaking to him. He's got a new single out on Friday called Embers. And speaking about, like you said, it's quite guitar driven, sort of that hip hop soul influence route he wants to take with his music. He's got some nice gospel vocals mixed in there too. And he said the song's about frustrations and struggles of trying to make it a career in music.
Is he quite like a young starting out musician?
Yeah, he's been on the scene.
Now?
He's been on the scene for nearly 6 years, which is quite substantial for any solo artist. He's found his feet over the last couple of years with help from obviously the Victorious competition and being signed with a label down in Southampton, not Southampton, just in the south coast. So that sort of helped him. He's moving on to more music and shows later this year as well, and sort of taking his music wherever he wants to take it, really.
So I know last week you spoke about the grassroots music scene. Is he part of that, would you say?
Yeah, he says that he thinks the music scene in general is very sort of like technology driven now, meaning grassroots music, it kind of means that unless for artists that have a head start in terms of like if they've had a big music video blow up, or if they've become famous off of TikTok, it sort of gives them a head start, and then the major labels come in, they sign that artist, right? So there's a bit of a gap between people that are actually trying and people that sort of reach fame based upon one thing and then get signed and then get kicked off like that. So but yeah, he has played at many grassroots music venues across the south coast, and is a big advocate for the promotion of it.
Yeah, I think Hampshire's got a lot of smaller artists starting to like emerge a little bit.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any that you think are any good?
I spoke to not too long ago. Spoke to Sam Bishop. He released a song on the 7th of February, his first single in a few years. He's currently on tour with his music partner Toby. They're travelling around Hampshire and a bit of Berkshire. At the moment, they're doing really well. I think just in general, smaller artists are starting to become more attractive to people.
Yeah, I think they sort of define Hampshire in a way, because we haven't got many major artists from Hampshire. It's sort of it's got loads of live venues in like Portsmouth, Southampton, and here in Winchester as well. So I think it's a good sort of hotspot for smaller artists.
I also think, as well as people like obviously enjoying their music, I think people find it attractive to find someone who is smaller, because then you have 100%. That like once they blow up. I saw them when they were small. I saw them.
You have
when
that head start on the whole fan base.
People now actively like hunt people down.
Definitely.
Like go through Spotify, go through new things, look for new releases.
Yeah, they
to
want
find
to
something they like and like be that fan. I think being a fan now is such a big part of the music experience, not just what you're listening to.
I mean, just look at the demand for like bigger artists now. Like,
well, I think like the whole Swiftie Armageddon has like really taken over.
That's such an influence upon other and also like I think with the concerts now have such a dress code to them based on who you're seeing. So I saw like with like Sabrina Carpenter over the weekend, and like Gracie Abrams. They had like bows in their hair. Like Sabrina Carpenter had like people, like girls doing like little lipstick marks on themselves.
Whereas
it's such an event, and they have like these little motifs that go with their.
Yeah.
It's always like reflecting the lead vocalist, for example, the 1975. You wear leather jackets and ties and smart suits because it kind of reflects the lead singers.
I think kind of the whole like concert has really taken over everybody's fan base opinions. Like with Swifties, they have really taken over, and it's almost become like I don't want to say cult, but like it's become this mass following that if you're not a part of it, it's like I don't know.
But I think it is quite nice in a sense though to be able to bring people together.
Yeah.
And like those like the concerts, those kind of events, like going to the theatre, for example, like cinemas, new releases, days are such a good moment for bringing people together.
I think also at the moment people are really looking into like books and clubs and like things like that can bring people together, like
like having like an alternative to like going clubbing is now like reading a book.
I know
or, like,
in Winchester they're doing like a writing club soon in like the new bakery in town.
It was World Book Day last week as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so with World Book Day last week, obviously I feel like I remember World Book Day from when I was a kid, like dressing up in like all your favourite costumes. It's such a thing still now, like kids dressing up for school. And
what
I feel
was
like
your
people
best costume that you wore though?
I went to school in a dress as the boy in the dress when I was younger, and it was snowing on the day I went in, so I was a bit cold, but it was quite funny.
I think my best one was Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter.
Oh, that's
but
good.
my mum and dad, they took it way too far. My dad in particular, he got this like wig, and obviously her hair is just absolute mop of like black curls everywhere. He got this wig, he like put drills for it, he like tangled this whole thing up. It was massive. It made me look about like another foot taller, just this black wig. And I feel like that's such a big part of World Book Day now is costumes.
Was there anything in I didn't really look into it. Were there anyone in Winchester that did that?
So I saw in Winchester, like just on like social media, I saw a care home, lots of care homes like with the elderly doing World Book Day, and some of them had all brought their own favourite book. They were doing an Alice in Wonderland theme one, for example, like Winchester Heights Care Home.
That's
the
so
staff
lovely.
were all in different costumes. They had a tea party. And I think like that, these days kind of bring those kind of things together. But something else with World Book Day, because obviously it's quite like, when we're talking about it now, it's quite happy. It's quite a nice uplifting day. But I think some of the statistics behind it, particularly with children, is quite concerning now. So, for example, a survey by the National Literacy Trust saw that 70% of children in the UK do enjoy reading books for fun. So it's not that the popularity is not there, but only 1 in 4 children in the UK don't own a single book.
Wow.
And I think World Book Day, as you get the token, because if you go into school, you get your token, and you can go to the bookshop like Waterstones or independent bookshops as well in Winchester and collect your World Book Day book for free, because there's special edition books that are like that.
Just quickly, do you have a favourite book?
So I'd say my favourite book is probably, it ranges, but I'd probably say The Handmaid's Tale. By Margaret
I've not
Atwood.
heard of that, but it sounds quite cool.
You've not heard of The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I'm not a massive bookworm, but
That's not even books, so that's history.
Oh.
Anyway, that's a topic for another time. I don't have a favourite book.
Oh.
I'm not much of a
guys,
reader.
I think this is something that you need to get behind. You both need to do a bit more reading, guys.
Yeah,
I like reading
agree.
like an autobiography and things like that, but I was never a reader as a child. Like, I didn't learn to read till very late.
And I think it is really, like, in children now, it needs to be such, like, in schools it's such a massive thing, but I think now it's less so at home.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, you had, like, the reading book, you had, like, your reading journal that you went home and you were given it to your parents. They had to sign it that you've read for the day and what you've read.
Yeah.
That was so, like, drilled into you. And it was, I think it was, like, although, you know, at the time you moaned about it and it's like, oh, I don't want to do my reading today, it was really beneficial.
Yeah. No, I think it will start to become more of a thing again, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think, like with, you were saying with, like, TikTok and Taylor Swift and that kind of thing, like, book talk becoming a thing, people getting behind these movements now because they see it as a niche, and then these niches just blow up and just increase popularity, which is really lovely. And I think it's lovely to see it in Hampshire as well, like with care homes and children dressing up. So overall, I think we've had a really positive little things to chat about today. New gyms, new music, and World Book Day. It's been really lovely.
Yeah,
thanks
good.
guys.